Ichiva, good evening. The Metropolitan Police has said 43 arrests were made on Saturday during an enormous £4.5 million police operation to keep demonstrators at two rival protests apart in London.
More than 4,000 police officers were deployed to the capital to manage a so-called sterile zone between a rally organised by Tommy Robinson and a pro-Palestinian demonstration.
Nelson's Column was surrounded by metal barriers, with police officers, including some from Wales, in riot uniforms preventing anyone getting from the National Gallery to Pall Mall and Regent Street.
Police vehicles were also seen lined up across the Mall from Trafalgar Square to Buckingham Palace, and tourists trying to navigate major central London landmarks were left bemused by the operation.
Every year, pro-Palestinian protesters hold a march on the weekend closest to the 15th of May to mark the Nakba, the displacement of Palestinians who fled or were driven from their homes during the war surrounding the creation of Israel in 1948.
On the steps above Churchill War Rooms, a 2-metre-high metal barrier blocked the road past the Foreign Office towards Whitehall, and thankfully there were no reports of serious clashes between protesters on the different marches.
Two other news now, and Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is one step closer to returning to Westminster after being cleared by Labour's ruling body to run for selection in the Makerfield by-election.
Josh Simmons announced he would resign as MP for Makerfield, paving the way for a potential return for Burnham, with the mayor widely expected to try and challenge Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer as Labour Party leader.
If he does end up winning the by-election, he will then need to secure the backing of 81 Labour MPs if he wants to launch a leadership challenge against Starmer. It's understood the by-election is likely to take place on June 18th.
A murder investigation is being launched after a 51-year-old man died following a break-in at an apartment building in East Belfast.
Nicholas Gordon was attacked as a number of intruders entered an apartment on the Hollywood Road early on Tuesday morning. A 24-year-old man and 49-year-old woman were arrested on suspicion of aggravated burglary with intent to commit grievous bodily harm, but were later released on bail.
Police received a report of the assault at about 8:25 a.m, with the incident believed to have happened at about 4:45 a.m. The 51-year-old was taken to hospital but has since died from his injuries.
The World Health Organization has declared an outbreak of the Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo a public health emergency of international concern.
The agency said the outbreak in the country's eastern Ituri province, which has seen around 246 suspected cases of Ebola and 80 deaths, does not meet the criteria of a pandemic emergency.
But it has warned that it could potentially be a much larger outbreak than what is currently being detected and reported, with significant risk of local and regional spread. The current strain is caused by the Bundibugyo virus, of which there is no approved drug or vaccine.
A farming family fined £9,000 and told to pay an additional £10,000 in court costs and penalties after damaging rare plants on land owned by the National Trust.
Lloyd Jenkins, along with his parents Margaret and David, were accused of not allowing sufficient space on the edge of certain fields to allow rare flowers to grow by spreading fertiliser, slurry and weed killer without permission.
The family pleaded guilty earlier this month to damaging a protected wildlife site over a period of 8 years on land in the Munt area of Ceredigion. Natural Resources Wales said the damage caused a serious decline in the number and variety of rare plants.
Bottles and missiles have been thrown at police as thousands of Celtic fans celebrated the club's 5th successive Scottish Premiership title win on the streets of Glasgow.
Police said about 3,000 supporters gathered in the Trongate area of the city's East End after a 3-1 win at Parkhead Stadium dashed Heart of Midlothian's dream of winning their first top-flight league trophy in 66 years.
Officers in riot gear moved in to clear the streets after colleagues who were helping paramedics attend a medical emergency encountered a hostile crowd. Police Scotland said they faced significant levels of disorder, during which officers were injured.
Police in the southwest are recruiting volunteers with horses to help in the fight against rural crimes like fly tipping, livestock theft, and antisocial behaviour.
Devon and Cornwall Police said those who stepped up would be police by engaging with residents and carrying out patrols. They would be tasked with reporting back suspected agricultural, equine, wildlife and heritage crimes, as well as crime disproportionately impacting rural communities.
Rural Affairs Officer Lucy Wyatt said rural crime was increasing and it would help to have communities reporting back what they have seen. Let's check out tomorrow's weather forecast, and it's warming up again in most places, but watch out for heavy showers, some potentially on the thundery side.